Okay, so now we're going to cover the Winthrop case. And what I love about this is a portfolio management case. So this is what we do when you finish your CFA charter, or you may be working on it now, and the CFA is helping you become a better portfolio manager. So I love this case. It really touches on a lot of areas of portfolio management. And remember, portfolio management is a big part of the exam. So this is a case that you have to pay very close attention to. Now, one thing I just want to caution you on. In this case, when I first read it, I misread it, and I got confused who was the portfolio manager and who was the client, because this situation is a little bit different. So let me explain why. So we've got Winthrop. They are a senior officer of a US-based corporation. Okay? They meet with Rebecca Tong. Rebecca Tong is the PM at Cobalt Wealth Management. Now, Winthrop, the senior officer at a US-based corporation, actually moved his investments to Cobalt in response to his previous manager's benchmark and high expenses. Now, this is not an institutional case. So that's what threw me off when I first read this. Winthrop is not the portfolio manager of a US-based corporation investment account. Winthrop is actually a client. Okay, this is his own personal wealth that we're talking about. And Rebecca Tong is the portfolio manager at Cobalt Wealth Management, who's going to help Winthrop meet his financial goals. And basically, we're told that Winthrop specifically moved to Cobalt because the previous portfolio manager did not perform compared to the benchmark. So benchmarking is going to be a problem here that we're going to have to talk about. And they had high expenses. So we're going to have to talk about that too when we design our portfolio. There are certain asset classes that have certain returns that we're going to have to deal with benchmarks, and some asset classes have higher expenses than others. So the fact that he's moving his money over because of the lower underperformance and the high expenses, we need to be comfortable and keep that in our thought process when we're designing the IPS to design the appropriate portfolio. Now, Winthrop, remember, Cobalt is US-based. Winthrop resides in Canada, and he's actually going to retire there. Now, his annual salary covers his current spending needs. So liquidity is okay. And his vested, so the money that he's already earned, the benefit plan is sufficient to meet his retirement goals. Now, Winthrop, again, who lives in Canada, he prefers global equity markets with a focus on low management costs and minimum tracking error to any index. Okay, so this should be screaming a certain investment to you right now. Also, he wants fixed income to be laddered in his country. So he wants to emphasize Canadian-based laddered maturities. But the equities, he would prefer not to be Canada, but he wants equities that have minimal tracking error and low management costs. So we already know that rules out a number of investments. Okay, so Tom